To use in place of those ones. Now, Esther Mulusa here also has an interesting comment. She says it's hard to censor films nowadays. I remember working for the new KTN where my job was to censor all incoming TV programs. I had to cut anything political, any bedroom scenes, or anything that rubbed the Kanu regime and the church the wrong way. LGBT content was a no-no. The clergy were part of the film and censorship board then. Now things are more liberalized and less censored. That is very interesting historical information. I never knew the clergy were part of the board that was responsible for censoring what's coming on the media.
They always were. Remember, they were part. Even there were books that were banned, and it came straight from the church during Emma1's time.
Yeah.
Then, what's this guy? This actor, Charles Bronson. A lot of his movies were banned.
Yes.
Clint Eastwood, some of his movies were banned just because of the shooting scenes.
Oh, yeah. Kenyan content too was being banned.
Dennis was in bed with Nani. What was that chile of his? I forget the chick. Usini Harakishe.
Yeah.
That thing was banned within, like, I think the fourth episode or something?
But you know, the weird thing is that these shows were being banned, but there were shows like No One But You, Lucia Mendez and Andres Garcia.
But those came later.
Those
came way later.
Okay, those ones were in the 90s.
Yeah, they looked after. Yeah, KTN came in, and then when KTN came in,
actually, those ones, I think kina No One But You. I think kina No One But You on KBC.
Yes, it was KBC, but then KTN was already showing such content.
Yeah,
so KBC had to catch up.
Okay. Yeah, so quite interesting. And then Esther Father says, I saw some Nigerian movies using seasons and episodes wrongly. Seasons are literally streamlined according to Western weather season. It doesn't apply to Africa. Just a quick comment on that, Shiro. What do you think about that? You know, like seasoning African content based on American seasons. Shiro.
I lost you there for a second.
Yeah,
I lost you for a second.
Yeah, Esther Mulusa was saying she saw some Nigerian movies using seasons and episodes wrongly. Seasons are literally streamlined according to Western weather seasons. It doesn't apply directly to Africa. So, what's your thinking process on African movies seasoning based on America, the way Americans season their series and their movies?
You know, I think that's a very technical thing. You know, it depends on your market. Again, you have to look at the territory and where you're selling your product. So it has to be in alignment with where you're planning to send your product. So I think that's more of a technical thing. I think that in my planning phase in the future, then I'm looking to see, okay, if we make this film now, is it ideal for Valentine's time? Is it ideal for the fall? So I try to plan out that better now because I have that in the back of my mind, because that's not something you readily come into a new scene knowing. So I think it's territory based.
Okay. All right, good. And then also an interesting question coming from Sean, asking whether if there's any movement in getting Showmax available in the diaspora, because a lot of people, Showmax is a platform in Kenya for watching movies.
Forget about that.
He can come and see us.
Yes, I know.
VPNs and logins. Sorry.
I know there's the panel here is IT heavy. The panel here is IT heavy, and they may or may not be, watching Showmax against the but anyway, that's a conversation
that will never happen.
Sharing that road tray. Yeah, that's an inbox conversation.
It's never going to happen because Showmax is their, it's like their Peacock. Right?
Okay.
Peacock is to Xfinity their cheaper streaming version of all their content, and they've paid for that, but they've paid for this market. So Showmax already shows Premier League football.
Okay.
That alone shows you that it can never cross from Africa, because they've paid just for the broadcasting license for Africa.
Okay.
So hiyo kuna njia zingine za kuona Showmax.
Tuone kando. Tuone kando.
See us behind the tent.
Cheza na kasha.
Uswai goja hivyo vile unagoja.
Okay, sawa. So that's
copywriting.
Yeah, so that's a Showmax issue, and Sean says this would be a game changer. We can also use our own platform versus Netflix. Lakini I've seen Prime Video inasaidia, And then Ida Alicia here says the church is even in the board of the people discussing LGBTQ rights in Kenya as we speak. It's sad how brainwashed by religion our African countries are. I'm gonna make a quick comment on this, and maybe some people may not like what I will say.
Yeah, go for it, Ali.
Maybe some people may not
go for it, Ali.
When
tell the truth. What did Bandio say?
when we are creating
Uchi. Yes.
When we're creating content, the best content is usually the most authentic content. You know, Americans usually have ruled this space because they create content based on what they go through over here. The LGBTQ topic right now is very hot in Kenya. You know, it's being discussed in parliament, it's being discussed on social media and so many other spaces. But here is my view on content creation. And in content creation, we are content creators ourselves. Things should be open to authenticity, especially movies. A lot of authenticity pays off. So I'm saying, even when we're creating LGBTQ content within our own movies, let's create this LGBTQ content within our own context in Kenya, in Africa, and not what's happening in the US. I'll give an example. In America, the culture here is pageantry when it comes to LGBTQ. There's a lot of pageantry associated with it. We don't have a lot of that. Yes, we do have LGBTQs within our country. There's no dispute about that.
Right.
But pageantry is not part of how that public expression is done. It's done very differently. So for me, I'm saying, let's find how we authentically express, how LGBTQs authentically express themselves within our society, and bring that in movies, rather than bring an American model into our movies, which is what brings the problems. Which there was that one scene, I think Ida Alicia was talking about it in the Disconnect movie, where there was a semblance of an LGBTQ scene in the bathroom. I don't know whether you guys watched the movie.
You've just spoiled for some people, but okay, carry on.
Or remember, no, I've not spoiled it. There was just a semblance of it. It wasn't really LGBTQ, but there was a semblance. There was an expression of it. So my request to people who are making movies, to producers, to actors, and everything, when we're creating our authentic content, let's authentically create content.
So let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question.
Yes, go ahead, Mika.
Kwa sababu mwonge upuzi mingi sana hapo. What is authentic African LGBTQ content and authentic American LGBTQ content?
So I'll tell you, what's authentic in America is pageantry. In America, LGBTQ pageantry is very accepted.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very accepted. That's still not that the LGBTQ people do not want that pageantry, but it's still within our society. Because remember, even America, that pageantry is also very recent. They evolved to where they are today. We also have to evolve at our own our own pace.
And that's the thing. We are evolving at our own pace.
Yes.
Whereby, this is where we're evolving, right? Right now, what they're trying to do is make it illegal for somebody to love who they want to love. Make it illegal. Basically means that you loving somebody, you're not outside there shouting you're gay.
Yeah.
You loving somebody puts you in jail. Because you have chosen that. Because somebody who's in power resonates so much to the church, has the ear of the church, and then the church is telling them that, you know what, this thing of people loving each other is not like us. It's an African. It's not like there's so many things that say, right? The thing is, these are basic human rights. When you start blocking people from exercising their right, right? Now it doesn't come that and say that they try to do it in an American way. Yes, we are not in the same level where we are if you compare in terms of that, but when it comes to a point whereby we are trying to oppress them to a point where they can't even be themselves, we want people to live a lie, and then we want to come and say that stop trying to be like no, they're not trying to be anybody. They're trying to be themselves.
So I hear you, Mika, and I empathize with you.
No,
but let me make a correction real quick. LGBTQ behavior right now as we speak, and this is now not
What is
me.
LGBTQ behavior?
No, Mika, give me a chance to speak. You